Hi, Jim. My name is Peter, and I'm an orthopedic surgeon 4 months out of fellowship. I've been following the blog and the podcast since I was a PGY4, and it's turned me into a personal finance hobbyist, so I'm very grateful to you. My question is regarding recharacterization of an over-the-limit contribution to a qualified account. A little background. In fellowship, we were allowed to contribute to a governmental 457B plan, which was nice. However, the only investment option available was a very conservative Invesco fund. So I contributed a large majority of my last few paychecks to max it out prior to graduating, knowing I was about to have a bump in salary and in order to take advantage of the tax benefits. Not wanting to keep it in that investment, I opened an individual 401k at E-Trade and rolled it all over to there. Now, I'm not eligible for my group's 401k until I've been there for about a year and a half, and I have enough 1099 income through call money to max out the employee and hopefully employer contributions for 2020. But back to the story, after rolling over the entire 457B into my new individual 401k, I saw that I overcontributed about $1,700 for the 2020 tax year. This was due to an employer contribution that I wasn't aware of. I spoke with E-Trade and the 457B plan administrator regarding the best route to recharacterize this money. The confusing part for me is that the funds are now contained in an individual 401k, whereas the overcontribution occurred in a 457B. Do I need to calculate the gains that the $1,700 is made, sell some ETFs in my E-Trade account, and transfer it back to the 457B plan administrator to have them distribute that money back to me?
All right, good question. I think all our questions today are from men. Come on, ladies, send us in some questions. If you want to get your question on the White Coat Investor podcast, whitecoatinvestor.com/speakpipe is where you can do that. And I don't care if you're a man or a lady or whatever, send us your questions. We'll get them answered. But I did notice today that all of our questions are from guys. Okay, so basically this orthopedist has rolled his 457B into an individual 401k. Remember, you can do that with governmental 457s, but non-governmental 457s, you can't roll into a 401k. You're basically stuck with it in the 457 until you withdraw it. But this is a mess, right? Because you over-contributed and then you went one more step and rolled it over. So you basically have two things to reverse here. So what I would do in this situation is I would contact both plan administrators and ask them how to fix this. And then I'd do exactly what they said. And that's probably the best way to do it. General advice for over contributions. First, don't panic. Just determine the amount you over contributed to your retirement plan. You can contact your payroll or benefits office and determine the best route to correct that excess amount. You want to always correct it before April 15th of the following plan year. That avoids your tax penalties. And you basically have two options. One, you can just complete a distribution request, which indicates the distributable event is a correction of excess contributions. So then the plan just sends you the money and gives you a 1099-R for that amount that they gave to you. No big deal. You get that in January, report it on your taxes. It's all taken care of. The other option is the fund can be recalled from the vendor by the plan, and it's given back to you on your payroll to ensure that the taxes are deducted. And that way the funds returned via payroll, the W-2 is correct, and the 1099-R is not required. And so you can get that done, during the same tax year. That's a pretty slick way to do it as well. But if you've already rolled that money somewhere else, you got this additional complicating factor. So I would just contact the administrators of both funds and ask them what to do about it. What I would expect to happen here is I'd expect to have to pull out the contribution, the over contribution and its earnings and pay tax on it. I'll leave it up to them to calculate the exact amount, let them put it on the 1099-R, and you just pay taxes on it. Just put it into TurboTax or hand it to your tax preparer, and it'll work out okay. If you want your questions answered by the White Coat Investor, record your question at whitecoatinvestor.com/YQA or click the link in the description.